a lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money.
Hey, Bill, any words? Why did money up?
Which means they were trying all that they could to give Ryan the fight, but Ryan tried so little, threw barely any punches, that they couldn't even rob Rolly. But you could see they were trying to rob Rolly.
During a live interview, Bill Haney couldn't help but chuckle when asked about Ryan Garcia's surprising defeat to Rolly Romero. Soon after the fight, the outspoken father of Devin Haney jumped on Twitter, mocking Ryan and his camp with a bold statement. Congrats to Devin, Rolly, and Teofimo, a legendary night in boxing. 3-0. Meanwhile, Oscar de la Hoya found himself under fire. One viral tweet read, "Still amazed Ryan hasn't dropped de la Hoya. He put him in there clean. No PEDs against Rolly." Bill Haney's post created a stir online, taking shots at de la Hoya's management choices throughout the Garcia versus Romero build-up. Cameras even caught Devin Haney and his father laughing at Ryan's lackluster outing.
Right here.
Hey, Ryan, they're canceling the face-off. They're canceling the face-off.
Boxing promoter Bob Arum didn't hold back, criticizing Ryan Garcia's decision to face Rolly Romero after a lengthy break. Arum believed Garcia should have eased back into competition with a warm-up fight. He claimed fighters like Ryan and their teams often prioritize big paydays over wise career moves, which eventually leads to poor performances in the ring.
A lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money, and they don't make really good decisions. A good decision would have been to take a tune-up fight, and then, you know, then you move to a Romero or even a Haney or so forth. You don't go right in after a year. You know, look at Haney. Haney looked terrible with Ramirez because he hadn't fought in a year.
Following Garcia's loss, boxing icon Mike Tyson was seen ringside with Derek Chisora as they watched the fight unfold. Derek didn't sugarcoat his reaction. He bluntly said Ryan looked like someone who hadn't trained at all.
We are live. Derek Chisora.
What's up, motherfuckers?
What did you think of that? You and Arum, Mike, on the tear-up.
Great show.
Mike, what did you make of it tonight?
Great night.
What did you think of Ryan losing, mate?
What did you think of Ryan losing?
He didn't. You know what? It took a year, Ralph. It didn't look like he was training. Ryan didn't train for that fight.
You don't think so? Why?
I don't think so. Ryan didn't train. He didn't train for that fight.
No, but what did you think of Devin, out of curiosity?
Devin boxing unbelievable, bro.
You have to give Rolly the credit, though, for the Ryan win.
Devin boxing unbelievable.
You have to give Rolly the credit, though, Derek, don't you?
Adam, fuck you guys.
What are you saying after this?
In a post that went viral quickly, Terrence Crawford revealed, "I told Shakur Stevenson before the fight, Rolly's gonna win." Coming from one of boxing's most respected figures, the statement added legitimacy to Romero's win. After Ryan's flat showing, fans and analysts began voicing what had long been rumored, that Garcia may have used performance enhancers in his victory over Devin Haney. Now that he fought clean and looked underwhelming, critics said the truth had finally come to light.
Devin Haney, I thought it was a little bit of PTSD, you know, with after the Ryan Garcia fight last year, you know, the whole steroids thing with Ryan Garcia and taking the big shots he took. Very, very safety first fight. If I have to compare it, I know you guys, some of you guys don't like it, then I compare myself to my style with Devin Haney, my boxing style with Devin Haney. I think we're very similar as fighters, except I had bad hands. He didn't. From there, you know, you get that. With Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia, first of all, congrats to Rolly Romero, because he was coming in with no momentum. I mean, he had lost to Pitbull Cruz. He won the title at 140 against Ismael Barroso in a very controversial fashion when Tony Weeks stopped that fight too early and in his favor. So, you know, Romero had been coming in with no momentum, really, and he was chosen sort of as sort of a dead duck, sacrificial lamb for Ryan's return, you know? There was that footage online, though, with that sparring, and there was a little bit of footage there, and it gave you a little bit of curiosity, right? But you're thinking, all right, you know, that was many years ago. Who knows what happens now? I tell you what, there must be some PTSD there as well, because once Rolly dropped Ryan stopped trying. Ryan stopped trying, and that's the biggest criticism there. It's, are you a Hollywood fighter? You know, why didn't you even go for it? Because at the end of the fight, although the fight was very one-sided, two schmuck judges actually had the fight within 3 points for Ryan Garcia, 115-112 for Rolly, which means they were trying all that they could to give Ryan the fight, but Ryan tried so little, threw barely any punches, that they couldn't even rob Rolly. But you could see they were trying to rob Rolly, and that's disgusting.
British welterweight contender Connor Benn also shared his thoughts, expressing disappointment in Garcia's showing. Benn called the performance very poor and said he'd be interested in seeing a rematch with Devin Haney.
What did you make of it?
That's a very disappointing performance. Yeah, it was terrible.
You still want to get in there with him next though?
Nah, thank you. Not interested. Thank you.
What's the conversations been like about the rematch,
Huh?
What's the conversations been about the rematch with Turkey?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's locked in for September. So,
How have you found this whole new, like, your stocks rose? Obviously, a lot of people
yeah,
over here
I
are
mean,
interested.
listen, it's all just noise, you know. One day they love you, next they hate you, then they love you again, you know. So I just want to get back in there and secure the W. That's all that matters to me.
When you had that moment with Terence Crawford, what did he say to you?
I can't remember. Saying he's I don't know about it.
Teofimo Lopez decided to shine the spotlight on Rolly Romero instead. He praised Rolly's discipline, focus, and ability to stick to the strategy. He fought smart, stayed composed, and didn't let emotions get in the way, Lopez said. Happy for him hearing that win.
You know, in the main event,
Absolutely.
Rolly pulled it off. He said he would. He said, you know, people would be surprised, but he knew what he was going to do. What do you think about his performance?
No, I'm very happy for Rolly. You know, sad short shot for Ryan Garcia, but hey, look, you know, don't overlook anybody. And, you know, I think Rolly had a great game plan. He listened to his team very well, you know, and before he went to the event, my father told him, just keep your right hand up the whole night, you know, and that's it, you'll win the fight. And he did that, and he looked great.
You saw what Devin did in the other fight on the...
When asked about the bout, Floyd Mayweather Sr., known for speaking his mind, chose silence instead. And that silence spoke volumes to AS for public opinion. Many agreed that the result was justified. Low energy, barely a fight. One fan commented, honestly, it was so dull it put me to sleep.
Your thoughts on Rolly Romero beating Ryan Garcia?
Oh, please,
Do you think that the decision was right? What? Rolly Romero, the win.
Top was into the fight. It was low action.
Well, that's what he thinks about that fight. It put him to sleep.
Former heavyweight champion Shannon Briggs didn't mince words. He called the entire fight card terrible, with Garcia's bout receiving the harshest critique. That was awful. No punches, no effort, nothing, Briggs said.
Obviously, it wasn't a good night for me. It's a pretty off night. You know, Rolly did what he does. You know, took a lot of good power shots, caught me in the second round. But just even in the start of the fight, it just didn't feel like my feet were under me, like I had anything. But, you know, I tried to fight through it and just found myself very off after the year layoff. You know, that whole year, you know, it was a lot for me, mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. But I'm extremely disappointed in the way I fought.
After the loss, Ryan Garcia faced a wave of online backlash. Boxing page Happy Punch tweeted, "No PEDs, Ryan got beat by Rolly. Now we've seen the real him." It was a brutal comment, but it echoed a growing belief among fans that Garcia's past dominance may have been performance-enhanced. Memes, criticism, and skepticism flooded social media. Adding to the emotional aftermath, a viral clip surfaced of Garcia crying in his car after the loss. X, user the 505 Way, posted the video with the caption, "Ryan Garcia crying in the car after losing to Rolly Romero." The footage spread quickly, showing just how deeply the loss had impacted him.
Yeah, it was, the fight was long, no knockouts. They were scared to fight.
We need heavyweights as part of this show.
They need punches. They need punches. Turkey needs punches. This ain't nothing. They wasted a lot of time coming to New York just to play around in the street.
What did you make of Ryan Garcia?
They all are horrible. All of them suck. The whole card. All of them can't fight. Everybody was scared of each other. Everybody.
Promoter Eddie Hearn also offered a more serious take after the fight. Something deeper's going on with Ryan. He needs help. Hearn stated that he wasn't referring to technique or tactics. Hearn's concerns seemed rooted in Garcia's emotional and mental state.
I mean, I saw some stuff tonight. I can't believe what I'm seeing. What the f***? Honestly, something bad is going to happen if someone don't get hold of Ryan Garcia. I keep saying it. And, you know, you may play these clips back when something bad happens. Like, it's just a car crash. He just needs help. He needs help real bad. I hope he can get.
Despite the criticism, Oscar de la Hoya took a more positive tone. Ryan knows what he needs to do. He said, brushing off the loss as a major setback, the De La Hoya also hinted that a rematch with Devin Haney is not only possible, it's inevitable.
Thoughts on the fight real quick, man? How did you think Ryan looked out there, man?
Little gun shy, you know, that year off, you know.
What do you
all
think?
That power from Rollies, but he'll be back to the drawing board, and you know,
how devastating
he'll live to see another day. That's it.
How devastating of a loss is this for Ryan, man?
Not devastating at all. Win 12 rounds. He knows he's way better than that. He knows what he has to do. So
do you think the Devin Haney fight probably off the table? Do you think that, or
it'll be back.
How do you?
It has to happen.
How do you think Devin looked out there, man?
Gun shy.
After securing the win, Rolly Romero felt justified in his confidence. Everyone doubted me, he said. Rolly claimed Garcia only opened up once the entire fight, meaning he barely had to adjust his strategy. His comments painted a picture of a dominant performance against an opponent once considered world-class.
You know, he's strong, you know, he has a good left hook, you know, and, you know, one time he opened up, you know, I cracked him and he didn't open up at all the rest of the fight. They're always going to underrate me because I'm not one of these prospects that started boxing that had a following and all stuff. They're fresh out the amateurs, they promoted them like, oh, this is the next big thing, yada, 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 all that stuff. At the end of it, I've done this 3 times. Three different divisions. I'm a 3-time world champion, and this might actually be the biggest, the most attended fight card in boxing history.
Despite being promoted as a historic clash, the Times Square showdown turned into one of the most forgettable fights in recent memory. Fans looking for excitement left feeling disappointed by the slow, uneventful pace.
The 3 biggest takeaways from Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, and yes, I'll break down the other fights on this card too. But my God, what an underwhelming night of boxing. Times Square was underwhelming. The fights were sure as hell underwhelming, but let's get through this review, shall we? Number 1, Rolly Romero defeats Ryan Garcia via unanimous decision. And just like that, one of the biggest boxing fights of the year, Haney versus Garcia 2, has lost all of its luster. So there wasn't that much action in this fight besides Ryan getting dropped in round 2. I think by a similar shot I saw in their sparring video from 8 years ago. But the second round Rolly had set the tone for the rest of the fight. Ryan couldn't get much offense off at all for 12 rounds. And for the first 8 rounds, there were a lot of rounds where I was like, I don't think either guy did enough to win that one. But in rounds 9 through 12, I thought Rolly had the far more aggressive moments, and he clearly took those final 4 rounds from me. At the end of the day, this was an awful main event, but it looks like Hagler versus Hearns in comparison to the next fight we'll discuss. And that's number 2. Devin Haney was at his all-time worst tonight. It looked like he was still recovering from the Ryan Garcia beatdown last year.
Some fans even speculated that the judges were trying to protect Garcia. But his lack of aggression made that impossible.in contrast. Rolly Romero was sharp, disciplined, and composed. His performance silenced any talk of luck, it was a clear and decisive win.
Words. We're on stream, by the way. Join in. Ryan Garcia gets absolutely masterclassed by Rolly Romero. Absolutely obliterated on my scorecards. Now, two judges tried to rob Rolly. 2 judges scored at 7-5. Do not let these judges confuse you, people. Do not let these the punch stats confuse you. This was a 9-3, 8-4 fight. Ryan Garcia looked terrible. Rolly Romero put on a flawless performance. I am in absolute awe. I cannot believe what we just witnessed. Rolly Romero put on a better performance than Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. Wow. This is supposed to be the easiest fight on this card. By far, it's supposed to be the easiest fight. And I mean, it was. Rolly made this the easiest performance of the night. This is a shocker. Y'all gotta please help me. Please let me. I cannot fathom this.
In a surprising moment, Shakur Stevenson was seen ringside shouting instructions to Garcia mid-fight. Sitting beside Mike Tyson, Shakur kept telling Ryan to keep his guard up, clearly alarmed by his lack of defense. That IT was a surreal moment. Fellow fighters coaching Garcia in real time, suggesting he came into the ring wildly unprepared.
Hey, Ryan, keep your hands up, Ryan! Let's go! Keep your hands up! Stay calm and relax, nigga! Relax, Ryan! Relax, Ryan! Good job, baby! Inteligente! The double straight up in the air.
Rolando
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas summed things up bluntly. He keeps showing up to big fights and losing them. Many fans agreed. Despite his fame, endorsements, and massive following, Ryan Garcia has yet to deliver when it counts most. Blair Cobbs, known for speaking his mind, found the whole situation bizarre. It's crazy how Rolly outboxed him. Honestly, kind of funny, he said. Cobbs expressed disbelief that a fighter once seen as elite could appear so lost. His reaction added fuel to what many now call the most humiliating night of Ryan Garcia's career.